Time and date check, 22nd of March 2020, time 18:25. Hi, Rob here from Rob and Von, and we've been on a bit of an excursion over the last week or two, and we've travelled from Spain back to the UK. We had to come back to the UK for a wedding, family wedding, for a meeting, and obviously to meet up with family. But of course, this coronavirus thing has really overtaken us as we've gone. And we are now at the end of our visit here. We're in Leicester at the minute, but we'll be heading back, God willing, tomorrow. So tomorrow evening, we'll be heading down to to Dover, and then across to Calais, and then we've got to find a way through France. Loads of cancellations gone on, loads of difficult things going on. What with all the lockdowns and the potential for lockdown in the UK is pretty great now. We've not the foggiest idea how we're going to get back because France is completely shut down. Although we can get across, it would appear, on the ferry from Dover to Calais tomorrow night. From then on, we're not sure. We're in the hands of the authorities. We've got a couple of forms that we've printed out, one in English and one in French, so that we can fill it in, and hopefully we'll find out tomorrow or over the next 2 or 3 days whether that's going to successfully allow us to get back into the country. March 23rd, 2020, and about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yvonne, how did the wedding go? Or did it go at all?
We got there. We got to the night before the wedding when we were packed and ready to go. Everything was ready. Everything had been transported to the venue, the dress was hanging, and then the phone call came. Boris had made his announcement at 5 o'clock in the news, and then 5:10, I would think, we got the call. The wedding's off. We got the call from the registrar to say that they couldn't do it. However, I spoke to my brother, who was staying at a hotel near to the venue, and he said, just take a minute to think. Could you not ask the registrar if they could legally marry them at the venue without any of the frills? So that's what we did. A few hours later, we got the surprise of our life when they rang and said yes. The owner of the venue rang and said, providing we didn't publicise it massively, it could go ahead. And the registrars rang and said the same thing. So we have a legally binding document that says my daughter and my son-in-law are now man and wife.
We're on the way up to the docks now. Border controls ahead, and see whether everything's going to go okay or not. We've got through the first security, so all's looking good so far. And now we're heading up to the check-in point. Oh, I don't know which one we're going on.
Mr. Johnson.
We're on a journey, and we don't know whether we're going to get there, but it ain't boring. So we're heading for P&O. Here we go. Shall we get to France? We'll see. Well, it's been a great journey so far, guys. We've had a great time, and it's all been so incredibly easy. But we've not got onto the continent yet, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. So in just over an hour, we should be sailing across to Calais. I thought it was Dunkirk, but what do I know anyway? We got on board without any problems. The ferry was a bit late coming in, but it's virtually empty. And I suppose that's with the restrictions in France at the moment. But we should be leaving port anytime soon, and then we'll be across to the other side at Calais and on with our route, and hopefully on our way home. And we're on French soil. Well, very nearly anyway. Well, we've not long been off the ferry, and the first thing that's become incredibly apparent is the fact that there are absolutely no cars on the road whatsoever. Absolutely deathly quiet. Tuesday the 24th of March, 8:30 in the morning. We arrived late last night to this beautifully stocked bar and restaurant in a very, very quiet Saint-Omer, to find that we couldn't get a drink and we couldn't get anything to eat. Coronavirus. These really are in lockdown.
Well, this morning we've come down for breakfast as we were told we could, and the lady has gone off down to a little room down there and brought us a tray back with food on, which we have to eat in our hotel room to stop the spread of the coronavirus. So she's given us a selection of pastries and teas and coffees and a yoghurt, and then I suspect we'll have to get on our way. This is the real reality of the coronavirus here in France.
Ready? Breakfast in bed? Not my understanding of it.
She didn't give me any sugar.
Oh.
The coffee's good, so it'll be fine.
So as we get further in towards Paris, or the road around Paris, things are getting a little bit busier. So just coming off the main road now.
Here, this particular point here is normally extremely busy. I remember it well.
I do.
This is where you're amongst all the traffic, and motorbikes are zipping in and out constantly normally. And to be able to drive like this through here at this point is just indicative of the situation.
So yeah, I've never seen it like this, and we have driven this road
many times.
many times, yes. So this is what it looks like when coronavirus has got the city, the world, just about, I think, in lockdown.
It's the same everywhere you go. Nothing's open apart from the loos, people with masks on, and but I guess in the UK you're getting used to that too as well, because Boris announced last night, didn't he, total lockdown from this morning for at least 3 weeks. So, and that's what it's like around here too. It's just eerie. We've just come through the péage, the toll booth on the motorway, just coming around Bordeaux. So we've got an awful long way down before we actually got stopped by the gendarme and asked where we're going, what we're doing. Sadly, we don't speak any French, and he had no English at all. But thanks to our friend Donna, we've got the paperwork. We got it filled in, and we've got a little Google translation printed out as well. And so when we presented them with those documents, they were happy to let us go. So brilliant. Donna, thanks mate. We've made a booking on booking.com, found this beautiful little place, and we're just south of Bordeaux, and we're on the road to, or very close to the motorway, heading for Toulouse, which is where we will be going through tomorrow to, God willing, we'll be getting home tomorrow night. But of course we had to go to Lidl and get ourselves a bottle of wine. All right, it might not be in a wine glass, but that's what we've got. But I've got to say, places like this are an absolute boon when the hotels are shut, or lots of the hotels are shut, all the restaurants are shut, all the cafes are shut. You can't get anything anywhere. So we're now settling down for the night. We're going to have a glass or two or three of nice Burgundy, something like that. Can't remember what it was. And then we're going to settle in for the night and see what tomorrow brings. Salud a todos. Wednesday the 25th of March at around about 10 in the morning. It's a beautiful morning in the south of France this morning. Beautiful sunshine. We've had a lovely breakfast and we're about ready to hopefully get on our last leg back home to Spain. I say hopefully because we've had news yesterday that it's got even tighter. The police are clamping down even more on people who are travelling. There should only be one person in the car at any one time, but of course there are two of us, loads of luggage, and we've got a long way to go. We've got around about 500 miles still to travel. Hopefully we'll get back home tonight. That's the plan. But at least we can speak a bit of Spanish, so we might be able to converse with the police should we get stopped.
This is a really pretty avenue that we're driving down now, as we leave our little place from last night. And I can just imagine how beautiful this would be in the summer when it's full of leaves and the sunlight will be coming through it all dappled. So I am attempting to store this in my memory bank now, although I probably don't need to because I'm videoing it for you guys. So, bit of a drop down there. I think we must be quite high in the Pyrenees now because the snow, the mountain and the snow is looking awfully close. What's the temperature outside, love?
13.5, it's dropping.
And there disappears the snow-capped mountain. Only to be replaced by another one. If you haven't done a road trip through France to Spain, or just to somewhere in France, if you always take the plane, which I think we tend to do because it's quick and we want to get to our destination as quickly as possible, maybe if you're watching this it might make you think, hang on a minute, I'm missing a trick here. You know, there's so much beautiful countryside. Most of our journey has been on motorway simply because we needed to get home because of the COVID-19. But you don't have to stray far off the beaten track, and this is the beaten track, the one that's going to get us back to Zaragoza, to find beautiful, beautiful countryside. Crossing, it looks like we're crossing the border now into Spain. The barriers are already up.
Yeah, I think we're going through that tunnel we've been looking for forever and a day now.
Found it. Here we go.
And I think we are in Spain now. Yeah, we're getting all Spanish language, I think.
Well, we're in Spain now. We've climbed up into the mountains. We've just driven past two snowplows. I'm guessing they're in readiness of what's probably to come.
Down to 1.5 degrees C.
The temperature has dropped from 10 rapidly down to 1.5. The beep went off on the car. We both nearly had a heart attack. visibility, as you can see, is very poor now. We're very high up, and I think I'll keep on videoing for a while.
0 degrees now.
We're at 0, so I'm guessing we're going to have some snow. Oh, I don't think I like this very much. Stay with us. I hope you don't get bored.
Just straight on. En serio, Jorge? Well, we've just had a bit of lunch. Dinner, lunch, whatever. Some sarnies that we picked up yesterday, and now we're heading off towards Alcossebre, and we'll see how it goes from there. The new driver, she's ready to go, baby.
Just need to start the engine.
Yeah, be a good idea.
I'll do it then.
And there we go.
I need the map.
It's alright, don't you worry, panic, Mrs. Mannering. On the N340 now, heading south to home. I don't think I've ever seen this road look like this. And there we get the first sight of the Mediterranean in the background there. So not far from home now. It's very nice to go travelling to Paris, London or Rome. It's very nice to go travelling, but it's oh so much nicer. Yes, it's so much nicer to come home. Buster? Hello, doggies. And that, as they say, is the end of that.